professionalinvestor.com's daily brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich. Hello again, everybody. It's the Beamish, another whack of Beamish in your lives. Are you ready for it? Here it comes. Anyway, happy Monday morning. It's actually a holiday, right? So what the hell are we doing working? Supposed to be sitting here memorializing all the poor people who've sacrificed their lives. Wow. I get chills in my arms just thinking about that. Anyway, thank you all who have graciously surrendered their lives to defend our freedoms. Yeah. I mean, you see what's happening there in Eastern Europe. If these people actually didn't sacrifice themselves, you'd have assholes like that bloody Putin guy running around just being total dictators, raping and pillaging and stealing. You know, as Mr. Churchill once said, I'm not going to say democracy is good. I'm not going to say it's the best, and I certainly don't like the way the banksters fuck us over, but it's the best system we got, and it's a hell of a lot better than getting a big old whack of Winnie the Pooh up your ass every day. And actually now the team wants us to be TikToking. And so now basically that message was just literally sent straight to CCP headquarters. If this person ever shows their face in mainland China, straight to the concentration camp he goes. If anything, we need less of that shit in this world, and we need more people who believe in democracy and freedom of speech. And I will defend that till I die. Anyway, happy Memorial Day, and say a quiet thanks for those people that actually sacrificed their lives, because this is a tough world we live in. Anyway, as I said, it is a holiday, so things are kind of quiet. It's kind of a slow news day, slow econs day. Don't know, I probably not half an hour's worth of rants here for you. You know, considering the bigger picture, what we do here on a daily basis is almost a little trivial, but nonetheless, thank you to those who have graciously served for our freedoms. As for the market, as I had sort of said earlier, quiet day, a little bit concerned, to be honest with you, that a little bit, market's actually looking a little trappy here. I've had a few conversations and had some really cool shares. Cut one of our day traders, who's in Europe, right? And he's like, he PMs me first thing in the morning. Where are you? What are you doing? Are no day trading? You get off your ass. What are you doing? Sleeping in, you slacker? And I'm like, well, you know, the futures markets are closed today. I thought I'd sleep in. Anyway, you know who you are, sir. And that was a great video that you shared with me. I don't know whether you like me sharing the videos that you share with me. This gentleman actually looks at the world very fractally. So I'm a big fan of market geometry. So he and I sort of are on the same wavelength. But also too, actually, Eddie, I shared that video with you. Did you like watching that? Eddie was on the Friday sort of free for all. What do we call that Friday thing where we bring people on and we talk? Because we got to give that a name. That's such a powerful session that we do. Do we have a name for that, Chris? I can't even remember.
I don't think we have a name currently, but we can definitely work on that.
Yeah, man. Because I tell you, some of these, you know, the conversation that we had with Colin was just over the top. Steven, when he does his harmonics, oh my goodness. Make a girl's panties wet. Anyway, but what? Wait a minute. I'm not supposed to talk like that. Anyway, I gotta blow my schnoz because I get all worked up thinking. Thinking about all the sacrifices people make for our freedoms. Gives me a little verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. The Holy Roman Empire was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire. Discuss. Anyway, actually, and I even put out a tweet. Like, what drives me nuts is Legend Fridays. Oh, I like that, Hannah. Adam, free for all Fridays. Yeah. Ooh, look at that statement. The Matador says, grateful to be alive and have seen the light via TRI. And I'll tell you, the Matador, that's half of the reason why I do this. Like somebody, we had the broiler chicken show yesterday, and it's fascinating to see the sort of difference in our society. Because the guys, of course, who want to sell a million, well, anyway, I don't know what the hell you call them. Social media guys and stuff like that. They're all like, oh my God, this is way too much. This is way too much, Some guy was like 2.5 hours, Brian. What are you, crazy? Kind of thing. Other people are like, oh my, like somebody actually put a tweet out today that I was just over the top. It really touches me when you guys say these kind of things. Cause I mean, it's, obviously nice words. Where are we here? Every week, CR Investor puts out amazing content for free on his show he does on Sundays. If you want to learn from one of the best in the business, there is no one better. Wow, what a statement. Damn. Go listen to this week's recording and see for yourself. Thank you, Brian. Wow. And what's really cool about this is Chris has even now done like chapters and stuff, and we have this newsletter. I tell you, this is turning into a really sexy product. The only problem, though, is that, it doesn't, we got to somehow get the word out to the world. Look at all the chapters and stuff that Chris put together here. Jesus, incredible work. So, we cover a whole bunch of different topics with the, and actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, hopefully he put it in here. Let's see, how would you do this? I think, Chris, what we need is we got to maybe even have like right on the very front, just so people can see it. They don't have to click the show more, but the little link to that tiny URL, just a little quick link, free newsletter that's associated with this broadcast. I think that would probably be a good idea. There it is there, yeah. So maybe we ought to put this thing up top here just so because some people are not going to click that show more. But what's super cool is you can sign up. And actually, I've already had about 20, 30 people already sign up. So that's good. And in essence, do we have a copy of the actual newsletter in here? Look at all this. Oh, my goodness. Geez, these guys put so much time and effort into this. It's so impressive. Yeah, maybe we should put it, put the link in there as well, just so people have it. Let's see. Now, where the heck do I have it? I've got it around somewhere. I think Chris sent me one copy of it yesterday. As I said, slow news day, slow econs day. It's technically a holiday, so I don't really have a hell of a lot to say about the market. That's kind of why I'm sort of rambling a little bit here this morning, but just to show you what that little newsletter looks like. These are all the opt-in forms. Where is the actual newsletter? There it is. I think this is it. Let's see what comes up. Pictures of naked ladies? No. All right. Phew. You never know when you click on these things. Anyway, and I'm the type of guy, just for whatever it's worth, and I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm the type of guy that, if I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things to talk about and they have to be talked about, I will just keep talking until they are talked about. And I've said my piece. So I like the way that this is. And sort of the layout. We talk about the breadth. We talk about, what was sort of news headlines, what was the econs, what's the commodity trend survey telling us, but did we have any trades of note this past week? And then just a nice summary of Bitcoin here. Probably the first few iterations of this, it's going to seem a bit clunky. It's going to seem a little bit weird. And probably Brian's going to go overtime, but hopefully at more and more times I do this, we can get this down to maybe a 45-minute, 1 hour presentation. But I really, really like the direction of this. This is long, long overdue. So if anything, great to see. The only other thing I was going to add to this is I think what we want to do here, and of course this probably drive Chris crazy, is I think what I want to do is have a little Bitcoin matrix, maybe even below this market econ, where we just have the big, and it goes hand in hand with this, the tweet. We just have the weekly trend is pointing, right now, I'd say the weekly trend is sideways. Sideways to up. So because the moving averages are still pointing up. Daily trend, I actually think is down. 4 hour trend is, it was down, but as we were going through the video yesterday, they went and broke that down pattern. So I'd say sideways right now. So anyway, and I see somebody just said there, hey, that's awesome, short and sweet, just signed up. Yeah. So, and what should happen is this, you should just have this in front of you as you're going through the video, because the video itself, right? You look at it and you go, 2.5 hours, that's crazy. But maybe you're not really that interested in the stock market. But basically, as I go through this, I'm just walking through each of these pieces. And the fact that Chris has actually gone and chapterized these things, I don't know what the proper term is. I mean, look how bloody cool that is. I mean, damn, that is so next level. Nice job, Chris. Excellent work. So anyway, let's see how this goes. That's sort of the big new offering that I have of late for all of you. So chew on that and give us your feedback. Like I said, just looking at that video, 2.5 hours, I can completely understand. But if you put it in the context of the newsletter, you should be able to just sort of drill into where you are most interested. And unfortunately, yesterday, it was only about 10-15 minutes that I actually did Q&A, which is kind of funny. But anyway. Okay, what I like to do with you guys, like I said, it's a quiet week. I'm a little bit pissed off at myself here. Drive you crazy, but, this is a trader's life. Had a pretty good looking buy signal for the algo. And the problem with algo trading is you don't know when the hell the damn signals are going to come in. They might come in while you're on the potty and you've got to get off the pot and go and pull the trigger. Anyway, this signal came in. I should have been long. The market actually gave me 8 hours to get in. And I just completely fumbled the trade, which is a disappointment. You can see, look at all these juicy profits that I just left on the table. So I'm a little bit pissed off of myself in that regard. But it's a trader's life. And if anything, what we're trying to do at TRI is hopefully we can get Sjord to actually build a bot. And he's like 90% of the way there. And it just takes, the signaling system is already on the system. This was automatically generated. Then it's just a question of logging into whatever cryptocurrency exchange site we're allowed to be on. Geez, bloody Americans and their regulations. And then just, entering the trade. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. And FYI, we have been politely told that by September, we will be kicked off of Binance. So anyway, we have a few more months here to get our act together and figure out where we want to do this. But for the time being, I'm just manually trying to do this through Binance. And of course, as you can see, I'm pretty pissed off. In fact, I think the tweet I even put out today was, generally speaking, I'm pretty salty because I kind of dropped the ball there. A little disappointed in myself. And of course, in typical social media fashion, somebody just sits and laughs at me. Thanks. No empathy. You loser. Sucker. Now that's social media for the win. Anyway. All right. So as I sort of told you guys before, I'm thinking about sort of running like a boot camp. How would you set yourself up to actually come to the market with the expectation of running all the different trading plans? You can see how many different trading plans I have running here. A lot, probably too many. And also being able to keep abreast of the news and what the econs are, and then doing a check-in of yourself, your computer, your exercise. I actually pulled a muscle in my stomach. I've never done that before. I put myself on an exercise routine. That's how fat and out of shape I am, that I actually pulled a muscle in my stomach. And now, like, sit-ups are incredibly painful. Anyway, go figure. Because it's a holiday today, and like I said, even yesterday, I kind of gave myself permission to sleep in a little bit here today. So I got up at 7 o'clock today. That's like sleeping in late. So anyway, and I don't know whether you saw the actual market trading. You can see the stock market, it gapped higher right out of the gate when the market opened up yesterday, when the futures markets opened up late yesterday afternoon, and then just stopped. And I got a sneaky suspicion that there's a bit of a trap being laid here. I did put this tweet out, and I kind of said, well, does this look like a megaphone? This sure looks to me like a megaphone. And somebody came back and said, well, I don't know. Technically, it's supposed to be 3 tags, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know whether that's a megaphone or not. And I even replied back to them, acknowledged. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Actually, somebody else even put out an image that actually scares me even more. Let's see if I can show you that. Where is that? Over here somewhere. I put out that megaphone kind of thought, and somebody had said back, well, actually I'm seeing, I think, like yeah, this person here thought that this was a channel. And I suppose that's right, but if that's the case, you should draw a line off of these lows and then draw a line off of these highs. That's what do they call that? An ascending wedge, which is actually a bearish chart pattern. So I do find that kind of interesting. And this is what I replied back. This is actually like an ascending wedge within an ascending wedge. That's scary. So anyway, the point being here, they gapped it higher on this holiday session. And I don't know, something just doesn't smell right about all of this. Call me crazy, most people do. But usually when they do this on a holiday session like this, right, they're going to open the market up. And of course, all the, fear people, hey, there's that bleeding crypto guy. Man, that was quite a statement from you, Mr. Bleeding or Mr. Crypto. I'm not quite sure what your name is. Thank you. Appreciate the kind words. That was awfully sweet of you to say. We say here, I log on late, but I meant every word of that post. Oh, you're such a sweetheart. I put out yesterday, I appreciate you and all the efforts you put into this community. Wow, cool statement. Man, now that is worth a short. If there ever was a short for Chris to do, it would be something along those lines. Not really, hey, look at me, I just made $1 million trading, but more like, this guy's trying to help us all, and he's trying to impart 30 bloody years of life experience in the market, and he's not asking a bloody dime from any of you. And my simple message is, if you do need help and you want to have guidance with how to build your small business business of trading, so that the expectation is you are going to actually make money. Well, we do have an education program we can teach you, but the shill is not the first thing. The very first thing out of my mouth is, all right, how can I make a positive difference in your guys' lives? And then, walking through all of what I think is going to happen. And keep in mind, I mean, everybody has an opinion, right? And they all stink, and you know how that line goes. All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Bleeding or Mr. Crypto. So I'm a little worried about the way this is looking here. This smells very, very trappy. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Ironically enough, if the US dollar index itself is actually pointing higher, that theoretically is actually a risk off bet. People are, getting out of stocks, they're getting out of risk assets in whatever fiat currencies there are around the world, and they're going and buying US dollars with those funds, and then going and usually buying US treasuries. Sometimes you'll get into a situation, and there's might be this, because now we're into the US growth cycle. So a big part of this might just simply be repatriation of capital around the world back to the US. The US economic engine is back online. You saw the numbers coming out of NVIDIA. Microsoft, of course, is at the forefront of all that. Those stocks are just going crazy. And you might just find that it's a lot of capital around the world just think about it in simplest terms. Would you go, if you had a choice, I'm going to go and invest in some idiot that's in Eastern Europe who's completely destroying the economy of the country, or I'm going to go and invest in NVIDIA and Microsoft. Well, of course, those stocks are denominated in US dollars. So that means if I want to invest in those companies, I have to go buy US dollars, and then I go buy their stock. Which, if you're an investor, I don't care. If you're a totalitarian dictator, dickhead, okay, that's one conversation. But if you're actually an investor and you're looking for yield, and you're looking for rates of return, and you're looking for capital gains, and you're looking for, I want to be invested in growth, where are you going to put your money? Let's quit with the bullshit here. I hate this about this woke world where people talk about, like MMT nonsense. It's the stupidest logic. There's no growth in it. Who in their right mind is just going to go give a socialist a whole bunch of money? Like in my country, they got a little girl who has absolutely no experience in the financial services industry running the finance department. Oh, that's a smart idea. And oh, by the way, the guy who's in charge of my country, he loved Fidel Castro in Cuba. Oh, how's the economy in Cuba going these days? There's lots of growth coming out of Cuba, isn't there? It's just idiocy. So should we be surprised that companies like NVIDIA and this whole AI revolution, they're based in the US, and we see a mad rush into US dollars, and of course a mad rush into all of the US denominated growth stocks going forward, and that silly NVIDIA just booming higher here. You tell me, how much money does it take to actually get this stock to do that? How much money does it take? It's going to take a hell of a lot of these damn things, right? This is money coming out of Europe. It's coming out of Asia, coming out of that stupid fucking Winnie the Pooh nonsense place over there. And it's piling into growth, into the US dollar, into US stocks. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. There you go. There's a big fat rant for you just to piss all the Winnie the Poohs off in the world. But anyway, and actually, one place that I love to invest in right now, I think, is Japan, right? The arch enemy of China. And interesting how, like I'm actually right now uber bullish of Toyota Motor Company. Maybe tune into TRI's conversations with Fjord. He's absolutely convinced that Toyota Motor Company is, well, not necessarily Toyota itself. Look at that chart. Are we supposed to buy weekly W's? Look at it, staring us right in the face. Anyway, he's made the comment that there's all these gas stations, and they're not just going to let the gas stations just go to rat shit. They're going to want to use that infrastructure. So a transition into them using hydrogen, which of course, makes all the Gretas of the world happy, because the emissions is basically water. Is water now? Are they going to get to the point where, well, actually, water is not environmentally friendly? Oh goodness! I bet that somebody down the road is going to spin it that way. But anyway, So Toyota actually announced that they have developed a hydrogen fueled combustion engine. And I like that bet, I mean, remember, we're just all market participants. Nobody has a crystal ball. You don't know what the heck's going to happen in this world, but I'll tell you, and actually here you can't even see it, but when I see weekly W's, at the very least, I just want to go and pick up a little bit of this thing and just have it on the books. We'll see what happens. No guarantees from the management. No idea what's going to happen, but I've been playing the game long enough. When I see weekly W's, I sure get excited. And of course, remember I said Microsoft earlier? I mean, look at that damn thing. This thing, look at that. Who can tell me what is this candle here called? Let's see. What did we open? Let's see if it actually was. Opened 282.09. Oh, not quite. So it's not quite a key reversal, but that's a bullish engulfing bar. Look at that. There's another bullish engulfing bar. And I don't know, didn't some idiot just say something about weekly W's? Can you see this? Down, up, down. Woohoo! So, I suppose on a clothesline basis, probably should be long somewhere around there, right? On the, this wick was awfully high. So I suppose anywhere in this area. And what is that? That's $250. And here we are at 330. Damn, people. Damn. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's you know what, Hanya, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm going to screenshot that because I think that actually plays into my story. So you see the weekly W on Microsoft, right? There's the weekly W happening on Toyota Motor Company as we speak. And Hannah, is that how I pronounce your name? Just added this in the YouTube commentary. I have a friend working at Toyota. Everyone there is excited about the hydrogen narrative. Tell you, man. Thank you, Hannah. You're making my sales pitch easier by the day. Let's see. Now, there are a couple semiconductors that I am trying to get in on. This AIP Arteris. Jesus, look at that chart. So pretty. 30 million shares out. Oh, just sexier than sex. I actually do like Intel right now, believe it or not. I don't know. Maybe we might have to come back down and test this closing low here because that's not quite a weekly W yet on a clothesline. So I'm not in too big of a hurry here, but I really do like, I like this as a dogs of the Dow. If you guys remember dogs of the Dow strategy, actually, and you know what? We're back into the part of the market cycle. God, I haven't done that in eons. What the hell was that guy's name? Oh, I can see his face right now. Anyway, he used to run a portfolio that was basically the dogs of the Dow, if you understand what the dogs of the Dow strategy is, where you buy like the most underperforming names of the Dow and you sell the ones that are outperforming and you're constantly rotating. I guess these. There you go. It's two, a buy signal or a sell signal. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, what the hell was his name? I can even see his face. And, kind of like me today, he would never, he was an older guy. And he started running the portfolio for a nightly business report with Paul Kangas out of Miami. God, forever ago. Just that back in like the early 1980s. Why can I? Oh, I've got a total mental block on his name. Fudge. Anyway, I'm sure it'll come to me as soon as I finish it. But that strategy works really, really well in the growth cycle part of the cycle, which we are in. All right. Started in the end of 17, beginning of 18. Actually watched the Broiler Chicken show yesterday. That was a really, really good reference. I was actually surprised at how good that was. And wow, look at me. I'm all over the place here today. What time is it? Oh, look at that. I've already talked for half an hour and I haven't said a damn thing. Anyway, told you a little bit about some of the growth stocks I'm interested in right now. As for Bitcoin, of course, this is probably what you guys are most interested in. What's that? Chris wants to chime in with something here. All right. I'll just do a quick little Bitcoin summary, then we'll send you on your way. Like I said, it's a holiday today, so don't get too wrapped up in what you see. And I'm a little bit worried that they're setting a bit of a trap here. Keep in mind that Wall Street does most of its business on these holiday sessions, right? This is when they can go around, can go into the market, fuck around, maybe do it overseas. They don't have to, retail's not paying attention. And then retail comes back tomorrow and then all hell breaks loose. So just be forewarned. Now, why is this happening? The excuse is going to be that the politicians down in the States have come to some sort of resolution with regard to debt ceiling raises, all that kind of stuff. I mean, really, I would have been very impressed had the Republican Party actually said, nope, sorry, no more debt. And if we have to break the economy and this whole bankster crookery society that we live in, so be it. And the whole stock market collapses, 20-30% losses, massive unemployment, food lines, the whole fucking thing, the whole mortgage nonsense, housing prices start actually going back to what they're worth, and people can actually start having some faith in the value of their currencies. That's what I would actually like to see. But then remember, I'm an ant. And, the question at the end of the day, you always have to ask yourselves is, are you an ant or are you a grasshopper? And of course, all the bankster crooks, they're all grasshoppers. They want to just keep growth going on endlessly. And if they have to dilute the shit out of the currency, the purchasing power of the currency, and create hyperinflation, $50 for a loaf of bread, they don't give a shit. They'll just keep increasing their salaries to offset those inflationary pressures. And then as soon as the market just can't take any more inflationary dilution, then they'll just switch to a new money unit, whatever, and basically once every 100 years or so, this is exactly what these bankster crooks do. It is the hallmark of our human society. And unfortunately, that's exactly what they are doing right now to the US hegemony. It won't last. At some point, I think the consensus is that this coming economic downturn, 27, 28, 29, 30, Great Reset, Klaus now is going to be on the face of all of our bills. Little substitute drama teachers are going to turn into maybe grow little small mustaches, that kind of thing, and live up to their Castro kind of billings. More rhetoric out of Brian. But the point is that I think the writing's on the wall. It's coming. So what a big surprise. The politicians down in the States, oh no, we'll keep all the Fakasian bullshit going, no, the party's not over. Just keep kicking the can down the road, all that bullshit. Like I said, 27, 28, 29, you better have your exit strategy. You better have your Bitcoins on ledgers or Trezors or whatever that the technology is that Big Brother can't just come along and steal them from you. Because I think that ugly Great Reset is going to be exactly that. It's going to be ugly and it's going to be evil. So if anything, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, this is your window. You got to get your skirt together, as one site member likes to say. And just do it, right? Don't make excuses. Just do it. Okay, so finish off our conversation here with you guys today. Do a little Bitcoin. As I had sort of said in the newsletter kind of talk yesterday, weekly chart, you could make the argument now Bitcoin's actually been going sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 weeks, right? Really the better part of 12 weeks. We've actually gone basically nowhere. That's 3 months. So that's sort of the definition of how markets slowly roll over, going from woo, uber bullish to all right, maybe we're going to exhaust ourselves. All the late buyers that wanted to participate, they're all getting sucked in here, but the price really isn't going anywhere. And then, as I had said recently, the only way we were going to be really punched through this is we got to have some really nasty negative news. Haven't heard about that. I think this whole debt ceiling debate and whether the US economy was going to have to shut down and the banksters and all that, going to have to reassess and, so if all of that is being taken care of, then sadly what it means is once we're on the other side of that, then, Skeletor there in the White House, he's got the green light to come after crypto and come after it hard if he wants to. So be forewarned. In fact, I even saw somebody posted a message to me earlier today saying that they thought that maybe middle of June, we could really see the shit hit the fan hard here. So just be careful, everybody. Buy when it snows, sell when it goes. The seasonal trade is done. If Wall Street was going to make some money propping up crypto, they did it. And now we've just basically gone sideways for the better part of 3 months. I don't necessarily have a sell signal here. Moving averages are still very bullish. So I do like the idea of maybe like a really sharp punch in the nose. Candle body lows for trade location, 50% rule, Collins pump chaser buddies, 30 SMA tag of this. This is like the original uptrend line of this market right here. So what would that be? That'd be like mid to low 20s. Maybe they knock, I don't know, $5,000 off the price here. That wouldn't surprise me. So just be forewarned. And then, of course, if we look at the daily charts, what I found interesting about this is nothing's really changed here. Like I said, 12 weeks, we've just been going sideways. So there is that top. I definitely think this is a megaphone, and I actually think that the stock market, I think that Bitcoin is a leading indicator. And this is sort of why I put the tweet out that I thought maybe the stock market was megaphoning out. I think you actually might find that the Bitcoin chart is actually, the stock market chart does something like this over the next month or so, and then rolls over just like Bitcoin. And I think you can make the argument that really nothing has changed on this particular setup at all. In fact, we teach you in the education program 3-step setup. This is sort of Wookie's bread and butter. And I specifically said recently that I can't get bullish of Bitcoin until I actually see a W on the other side over here, the other side of this trend line. So you can see they punched it up through it yesterday, made a peak. And then now the question here is, and this is where a lot of noobs get themselves into trouble, is that break through that trend line. They think that's a buy signal, but it isn't. That's like, so often what I see is the market will break through a trend line and then it'll start walking its way down the trend line from the other side. The key here is we have to see some sort of W on the other side of this trend line. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know how long it's going to take, but if I'm going to turn bullish, I have to see that W. And interestingly enough, off of this chart, yes, we did have a rally, and off the lower time frame charts, we had bearish setups, the bearish bot setups. They all got blown out. I did find it fascinating that, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Where are we here? Which one is it? Actually, I think it's over here. Yeah. Here's that 4-hour chart. They ran up, blew out through all of these highs, and then it looks like they blew through this high. And then it just stopped. And it was interesting in the video yesterday, I had made reference to this high that I thought was the top end of the range, 27666. And interesting, look at where the price, they blew through this. And then we went after the stops, liquidity hunts. As I had said earlier, man, I had just the sweetest like algo buy signal there. I completely dropped the ball on this trade. Ugh, drive you crazy. And then somebody even said, well, Brian, that's just a liquidity hunt. Don't get too upset about this. The question I have right now is, was this just nothing more than, oh my God, somebody actually mentioned that Beelzebub, the devil, Joey Diamond, all those kind of people, they actually revealed themselves in the market. And oh my goodness, we better go and wipe that out and get that mark off of the screen as fast as possible. So boom, blow it out. So now that reference level isn't important again. But look how they brought it basically right back down to Joey's level right there, eating babies and all. So there you go. Merry Christmas. I suppose if this really is a bull, we should consolidate and hold these levels because this is technically a big ass W. Really what we want to see is, can we get, if you're a bull, right, can we get some sort of W action through there to take us higher? And as I had sort of said off that daily chart, for me to actually turn bullish here, I actually have to see a W come in off of here. And I don't know whether we're going to get that or not. It's also the holiday session. We kind of knew that through that holiday weekend, they could F around with the price of crypto. I think they did. There were some fun little rallies. We had that ARPA, and interesting how it's come right back down, right? So you had the ARPA had a huge blow off top and then boom, right back down. So there's a good example of one that they effed around with. I actually went and picked up a little bit of this guy here off of a site member's mention. This is exactly my bread and butter. I love the look of this chart. There's also a couple others. This is another one on a Friday show somebody mentioned. He's right in a wheelhouse where I should be buying. So I don't actually mind slowly accumulating these things. What I absolutely do not want to do is I don't want to chase, because I do think that there is a little bit of a danger, for instance, I know there are a lot of people that are super bullish about things like the graphics names. I cannot come in and buy that up there. I just can't do it. It's like against my religion. So I can't chase, and just be careful here. Like this, yeah, I mean, you see where reload zones are. I'll buy if we dip back down into reload zones. You know how this game works. So I wanted to show you a couple others that I saw pop over the weekend. I can't see them just off the top of my head. But actually, if anything, this is one that we did buy that I think I missed a double opportunity here. But I did notice he's starting to work his way up. If the volume just keeps pouring in here, we should see a little bit of a rally. So this guy here actually might be a good tell as to whether this crypto bull is for real or whether it was just through the holiday weekend. They tried to pump as much as they could, and then it rolled over. So keep your eyes peeled on that guy. You can see they've already started to fade the rally even as the day is progressing here. And then, of course, once we're back in the saddle with the grown-ups tomorrow, my hunch is that Bitcoin actually calms back down. It's tough to imagine that the stock market can rally much beyond this. I think the market's going to open up higher. The retail market's going to be uber bullish, but they're basically just going to rally the retail market right into this candle, because keep in mind, this is a futures contract. The retail market is not open just yet, right? So the retail market looks like this right now. So I'm just a little bit worried that, and I'm still talking. Why am I still talking? That, you're going to get you a little bit of a pop, right? You can even see it here. Something along those lines. So you get your pop up into here. Once that pop is done, then what? And we also see there's a pretty big juicy gap here that should be filled in. And then we can also see, horizontal support and resistance. So up in this area here, probably not the place to be getting super bullish. If anything, you probably want to be selling into that pop tomorrow morning if you have any winners. All right. Okay, I'm going to try and stop talking now. Have yourselves a great day. I don't know why I talked so long there, but threw in about rants. And just remember, if there's one message that you take from Brian today, it's just, it is Memorial Day. There are people that actually have sacrificed their lives for all the freedoms that we enjoy on a daily basis. For me to be able to go, Winnie the Pooh's an asshole, Vladdy can go suck my penis, just to be able to have that ability to say those words without all of a sudden you're dead. That's what those people sacrifice their lives for. So maybe just stop and just give a small word of thanks. Because I'll tell you, there's no way I could be doing what I'm doing right now without them. So thank you very much, everybody who's sacrificed their lives and even sacrificed their time and effort in the defense of our freedoms. All right, everybody. PMA for the win. I guess we'll pop on over and do an after party show, and I'll just continue on the rants. So if you want, come on over to the site, and we'll continue the fun shortly. Other than that, have yourselves a great day. PMA for the win. All the best, and bye for now.